Hey guys, so excuse my voice, I'm pretty sick right now. I'm battling a cold, so that's why I sound like a man, but I just wanted to do a quick voiceover for you to walk through these exercises that I did. These are actually from 2 different days because on my heavy leg day, it got super busy in the gym and I just wasn't able to film the entire workout. So the first thing that I did do here was just a sumo squat with a heavy dumbbell. I think I'm using a 55, maybe even a 60-pound dumbbell here. Just making sure that I'm focusing on keeping my feet, my toes pointed out, and keeping all the weight in my heels while I'm pushing up through my knees. So the second exercise is kind of a plyometric exercise. It's not as much as a heavy leg day, but it does really keep your heart rate up between the exercises. So this is just a lunge variation that I'm doing with a kickback and a step up in between. And this is really good for balance. I know doing a stationary lunge is easy for the most part for pretty much everybody, but here you can see me actually losing my balance quite a bit, and that's just because I have pretty weak ankles, sorry. And so these kind of exercises are really great for strengthening and just kind of bringing it back to basics and focusing on form. And my next heavy exercise is a step up on a little stool bench thing that we had at the gym. It was just the only thing available at the time. Again, I'm using, I think, a 50-pound dumbbell here. This is very important to keep all that weight in the front leg and you're not trying to push off of your back leg. So basically if you try to take that back foot off of the ground first and then pull yourself up with that front leg, you will feel this in the glute. Oh my goodness, this is an amazing exercise. So that was all I was able to film for the heavy leg day. But this is also a hamstring and glute day, so I thought I would include these exercises as well with a couple core at the end. So lately I've been loving the single leg hamstring laying curls, and these are really great to just isolate each leg one at a time, making sure that you're really focusing on the squeeze all the way up, all the way down. I also like to do these as negatives, so I'll come up at a regular pace and I will go down as slowly as I can, and sometimes I do those at the end of the exercise as a burnout, but here I'm just doing a regular time hamstring curls. This machine is kind of messed up. It's not like ones I'm used to. There's a bar on the right side, so it's very awkward when I'm doing my left leg as single leg, because if I put it down underneath it hits it, but if I put it up, it also kind of hits it at the top, you can see there, so it's kind of annoying, but you just have to work around it as best as you can. So these are kind of a form of a donkey kickback, just really focusing on the glutes, and I have a hard time keeping my core straight and not moving it side to side. So what I do is actually I don't center my hands, I push them over towards the side that I'm working on. As you can see, my left leg is actually pretty much parallel with my left arm. So that's how I keep myself more balanced while doing this exercise. Don't feel like you need to go too heavy. These are also great as just a body weight exercise, but I just like to work them in if I am doing them during my workout, not as a burnout. I like to incorporate the weight as well. So this next hamstring exercise is actually one of my favorites, and I've been doing it every time I'm trying to focus on the hamstrings. Big problem with ladies out there is that underbutt and cellulite. Hamstring workouts are actually what's going to tighten that up and tone the underbutt, as well as obviously the hamstrings. So this one you can't really see, but I am on an elevated bench and my toes are out, coming over the end of the bench, and I'm just really focusing on pulling the hamstring all the way up, making sure that I'm not going all the way up to the glutes. So here's just a cable walkout. These are kind of more of a burnout exercise. I believe this was a superset, as you'll see in a second here. Again, focusing on keeping those legs as firm as possible, making sure that I'm staying in my squat the entire time, keeping my back straight and really pushing with my butt and my hamstrings. And then this is just a cable glute pull through, making sure that I'm really getting the squeeze at the top. As you can see, this is not a very flattering angle, but it's real. This is what's happening. Despite the angles that everyone may see on the internet, this is actually what it looks like when you're doing something like this. So just making sure that I'm keeping my back as straight as possible, as you can see, and trying to pull as little as possible with my upper body, and really focusing on pulling up with my hamstrings and squeezing the glutes at the top. This is just a burnout for the glutes. It's pretty good. I don't think I'll do it again, but it was just something that I saw on Instagram, so I wanted to try out. Maybe if you have a heavier, thicker band, this would work better, but it really wasn't targeting my glutes too much, so I did do a very high rep of this just to burn out all the way to the end. Again, focusing on keeping that right leg that's planted straight and using it as little as possible to assist in the movement with the working leg. I like to hold on to my butt as well, just to make sure that I feel it working. So at the end of this workout, I did focus on some lower back and core building exercises. I've always had a pretty weak core. I can do lots and lots of reps of anything that's like an ab exercise, but I'm not necessarily doing it correctly. So lately I've been really focusing on just improving my form. So these two exercises that I'm doing, dead bug and what's the other one called? I'm not really sure what the other one would be called, but it's just like a ball pass through. And this dead bug is amazing for building that lower core. And strong back. Strong back is just going to ultimately lead to a very strong core. And if you have a strong core, of course, everything else just builds from that. It is the building block. With bodybuilding, you need to have a strong core in order to have strong legs. So here I'm just focusing literally only on making sure that my lower back is touching the mat the entire time.